property versus trading. Which one's better? Our students make between 5% and 10% once they're competent and they're up to skill set with all of our strategies. We can choose the way in which we make money, and we can choose ways which are low time commitment and high return. We're able to teach people to go live and trade live safely in a relatively short period of time. We can take a lot of the fluff, a lot of the pain out of the process of learning and just focus on what's actually needed and required to become a successful trader. So I still believe in property, but property is a long-term play. It's not a short-term gain. I think often people want to go into property because they have it glamorized by social media. Trading way outstrips property from that perspective. It really, really does. Hello and welcome to the STARTrading podcast with me, Lewis.
And me, Sophie.
And on today's episode, we're going to be talking about property versus trading. Which one's better?
Well, my main job is property.
Yeah.
I've got a property business and lots of stuff going on. And you've also got property investments.
Yeah. I've been doing it for about 6 years now.
Yeah. And I must say, when we were talking about this episode, the first thing that came to mind for me was time.
Yeah.
So if you get into property, as I did, starting with very little investment, people mainly go into deal sourcing, so kind of finding deals, finding investors, putting them together and taking a bit of a commission, or rent to rent, as I did, which is operating other people's HMOs or serviced accommodation. And it's a lot of time involved, it's a lot of learning, it's a lot of hard work. And for me, it was sort of 12 to 18 months of really hard graft, learning everything, learning the legislation, tenant management, sourcing properties, negotiation, everything. And I'm now in year 3 and it's good, it's all systemized, but the learning curve was very long and very big. The investment was quite big. You know, every time we made money, we invested it back and back and back, and it's now cash flowing. And it's just tenants we need to deal with.
Yeah.
I think with trading, it's a bit quicker. There's still, you have to invest time and money, but I mean, the average to learn all 4 strategies is how long?
Less than 6 months.
Less than 6 months.
I mean, most of our students are trading at least one of our strategies within 2 months, which is phenomenal, really, which means you're able to start generating income from your trading within a 2-month period. Funny enough, one of the questions that I had from somebody on Instagram before this episode was, how is it that we're able to teach people to go live and trade live safely in a relatively short period of time? Because this particular individual has spent a lot of time trying to self-teach, which if you listen to any of our episodes, you'll know that's incredibly hard to do, and you're opening yourself up to so many risks and problems when you self-teach. And the reason why our students can get there so quickly is because we have a very, very clear system, not just in terms of our trading strategies being super clear and know exactly what you're looking for, but also our educational process is really, really clear, really step by step. And because of that, that's how we can take a lot of the fluff, a lot of the pain out of the process of learning and just focus on what's actually needed and required to become a successful trader.
Yeah. I've just realised we haven't talked about what we did this week.
We haven't, have we?
How's your week been, Lewis?
My week's been really good. Had a couple of things. It was my other half's birthday / Valentine's Day. So went out to the Corinthia for afternoon tea.
That sounds posh.
It was very posh, yeah, very posh. For me though, afternoon tea, not my thing. Not my thing. I just always think the sandwiches are a bit stale. Love a cream tea. Absolutely love a cream
crisps?
tea. I just need crisps, yeah. Crisps and a cream tea. I'm actually, that is like dream afternoon tea territory
you
for
like
me.
a scone?
Yeah.
Or is it a scone?
Scone. Scone. Depends who I'm with. If I'm with the Queen, then it's a scone.
And are you cream on first or jam on first?
Cream on first.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's the Devon way.
Is that the Devon way?
That's what my husband has taught me. If I ever do it the other way, I'm getting disowned.
Yeah, cream first. But you'd put butter on first, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And so it's a form of dairy, it's a form of butter.
Yeah.
And then after that, we went to see Whitney, Queen of the Night.
Was it really good?
It was really good. Had a good old sing-along as well. I've got quite a powerful set of lungs. Not necessarily in key, but loud. So I was going for it, yeah.
What's your favourite Whitney song?
Oh, now you're testing me. I don't know. No, that's not Whitney. That's Tina. I played Tina. Oh, I actually sang a Tina song at my own wedding.
Did you?
Yeah, back
what did
last
you
year.
sing?
Simply the Best, but a slowed down version.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we find it on YouTube?
No, it's not on YouTube. No, not that. Yeah, I don't put my own wedding on YouTube. I think that's like next level Kardashian, and I'm not Kardashian.
We're going to karaoke.
We have to do the karaoke. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Well, I was also celebrating this week 12 years of being married.
Flippin' heck.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So we went to a nice, really.
Flippin' heck.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. She does like local foraging.
Doesn't sound like a nice
stuff.
restaurant.
It's really
but
nice.
Yeah.
It's stupidly expensive, but it's really nice.
Has to be like a big one then.
Yeah, each cocktail has got like its own glass, like the correct glass.
Special glass for it.
Beautiful.
Do you think that ever makes a difference, the shape of the glass for the alcohol?
Well, it's the whole environment. They've got like the sofas and pictures of game, and it's kind of dark lit, and then you've got your little whiskey cocktail or something.
Very, very nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So, property and trading.
Yeah.
So we talked a bit about time
and
how we can get into trading relatively quickly versus property. Property is such a long game.
It's a very long game. Even in terms of ROI and profitability, though, property is a long-term game. I think sometimes people think they're going to buy a property and they're suddenly going to be financially free. It's not the case. I mean, even if you just look at buy-to-let, the majority of my portfolio is buy-to-let, thankfully not all of it. And that's because that's where I started. That's what I was taught to start with. And it's not bad. You learn a lot of lessons by going down the buy-to-let route, but you're lucky if you're making £200 a month cash flow off of a buy-to-let. Cash flow meaning profit, in case people don't know.
But then if something happens, if the roof happens or the boiler or something like that.
Yeah, so over Christmas, well, just after Christmas in the new year, one of my properties, the boiler broke in my buy-to-let. The cost of fixing that one thing in that one property wiped out a year's worth of profit because it's a buy-to-let. Painful. So explain to me where I'm making my money in property when that's actually the numbers and the reality of what it's like.
Capital appreciation?
Not in my area. Well, not in that particular area with that property. So not a lot of capital appreciation, But if you, as you know, with buy-to-lets, if you go to a good capital growth area, you sacrifice cash flow generally. So you're then not making your money on a monthly basis, but you might be making your money in the long term. And even if you're making your money in the long term, is it really keeping up with inflation, or is it just a little bit behind? You're probably not going to be beating inflation, especially when inflation is 10%. There's definitely better ways to make your money, as we know.
Yeah, and in terms of percentage return, even looking at the general stock market, if you went for index funds, you might make 8 to 10% a year. Property, a good year would be 8 to 10% again. Trading,
you could do 8 to 10% on a monthly basis.
That's insane.
Yeah, and it is a monthly basis. I mean, I don't tend to like talking about things in this way, but our students make between 5% and 10% once they're competent and they're up to skill set with all of our strategies, 5 to 10% per month. At the lower end of that, at just 6%, you are doubling your account every single year. And the reason I don't like talking about it is I don't like advertising get rich quick, and it's not get rich quick like we've talked about even on the previous episode. You have to learn the skill set to make that a reality. So money does grow on trees if you know where to plant, you know how to water, you know how to prune the tree, then it does grow on trees, and that's what trading allows you to do. So yes, the ROI potential, and if anybody's an investor, what they should be looking at is ROI, then trading way outstrips property from that perspective. It really, really does.
And I'm just thinking of time in the day we spend on it.
So
with my property business, I've built it, I've got a team, it's systemized, it's amazing, it's running, I'm able to do refurbs and like other projects. However, you get issues, and I was telling you about a beautiful Friday afternoon I had in London before the theatre. And I took myself to the National Gallery, and I put classical music on. I had Einaudi. I was looking at some of the best artwork in the world, and my phone was pinging with these tenants who had a lighting issue, and the contractor was trying to get in, but then they didn't want to give access, but they really wanted it to go quickly. And then I've got the agent talking to the contractor, and it's just all happening, and I'm like, I'm trying to have a nice time. But this business is giving me that opportunity. I need to be grateful for that. So I didn't really mind because it's part of my job. But then trading, we don't really deal with people, right?
No.
We just sit down for half an hour a day and do our work there.
Unless you're a madman and decide to set up a company teaching other people how to trade. And then you do have to deal with people. But thankfully, we've got a very good group of people. We're all lovely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think one of the things you've been saying there, and it's kind of sparked a thought in my brain, is we can choose the way in which we make money, and we can choose ways which are low time commitment and high return, but still require learning, like trading. Or we can choose to do something like property, which is lower return. People think is safer. I disagree, but people think it's safer, but requires a lot more of our time. Now, if you love the whole process of doing property, then you probably don't mind that and you're happy doing that. And if you do something which is lower pay, but you love it, it's still totally worth doing. I personally do not love the process of investing in property. I hate dealing with letting agents, hate dealing with estate agents, hate dealing with solicitors. My goodness, solicitors are the bane of my life. Don't like dealing with tradespeople when it comes to properties that I'm managing. I just don't enjoy it. So if you don't enjoy the process, why would you do that just for the sake of making money? Whereas the reason I'm partly so passionate about teaching trading to other people is because even if you're not passionate about it, it's only taking you 30 minutes a day. And guess what? You've then got the time to do the things you are passionate about. And that's why I love it.
Yeah. Why is property not safe in your opinion?
I get questions on this all the time, but it is definitely my opinion that it's not safer. First of all, if anybody hasn't listened to the podcast episode we did on what not to do when you're trading, highly recommend listening to that, because we talk about some of the reasons why trading is very low risk and it's a really safe way to invest. But ultimately, when we trade, we are only risking on each trade that we place a maximum of 1% of our entire account. So when you're only risking a maximum of 1% of your entire account, that's £100 of £10,000. If you had £100,000 in your trading account, like some of our students do, then you're risking £1,000 per trade, but it's still only 1%. Whereas when I take capital, my own capital, which I've generated through trading, or I'm using investor finance from friends and family, or I'm borrowing money from the bank to invest in a property, all of that money has to go into the property. That's 100% of that capital is in the property. Now, is it likely that that property is going to go to zero value? Of course, it's incredibly unlikely. But is it possible that something goes wrong on the build, we discover something during the build process which costs us more money? Yes, it does. So have I got more than 1% at risk of my entire capital that I'm using for that deal? Yes, I really do. So you have to be very, very careful with property investment that you're not putting yourself in a very risky position. But all investment carries risk. And for me, actually, the number of things that can go wrong with a property deal, from my own experience and the experience of everybody I talk to in property, the number of things that can go wrong and the cost attributed to those things going wrong makes it far higher risk than actually investing in trading, where you are capping, regardless of what happens, your risk to 1%.
You make good points, Lewis.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
So are you never going to invest in property again? Are you going to try and reduce your assets in property? Are you going to be clever about it and spread the risk a little bit between trading and property?
Yeah, I mean, I'm already spread because I do obviously still trade and I still do invest in property. The past 12 months, my property strategy has primarily been risk mitigation. So paying off mortgages and things like that, especially with the way that interest rates have been, everyone knows have been crazy. Interest rates are looking to change now, so I'm changing my strategy a little bit, and I'm looking to purchase again. So I still believe in property, but property is a long-term play. It's not a short-term gain. And I think often people want to go into property because they have it glamorized by social media. They think it's going to be nice and easy. I'll buy a nice looking property and I'll tenant it out and everything will be hunky-dory. They don't actually think about all the hidden costs that come with owning a property and dealing with difficult tenants who make life hard work sometimes. So I still believe in property for the long term. So I will always filter some of my trading profits into property. And the strategy I'm using going forward will be different to the strategy I've used in previous years, just because it's better cash flow than buy-to-let.
Wonderful. Okay. Well, I look forward to seeing how it all goes.
Yeah.
And if you've got opinions on trading versus property, let us know.
Yes, please do.
Yes. Would you like to hear how I'm getting on?
Yes, please. Yeah.
So I'm just going for it. I'm live trading. My latest 2 trades have lost.
Yeah.
But they fulfilled the criteria, and this month I'm up 4%.
Even with the losing trades?
Yeah. So it's a good trajectory. And in the last group coaching session, I said to Josh, can you just look over my live spreadsheet as well as the one we're working on at the moment, because I might be having a bit of a wobble, like, are these okay? And he just said, yeah, these are all good trades. You win some, you lose some, and because of our risk reward, you're always going to be up, you know, if you're doing what we're doing. So I'm really happy with that. And I'm trying to practice patience, as we touched on last week. You know, I'm now in a few trades and I'm trying not to watch them or, you know, rush them, because you just can't. Yeah.
How have you found, because we teach a lot, and there's certain lessons though that although we've told you about them, we've prepared you for them, you then have to experience it to actually learn the lesson. So we've obviously told you from day one, there's no such thing as a 100% winning strategy. There is losers. Even when you're doing your back testing, you know you're going to get losing trades. How was that transition for you from, I know theoretically that I'm going to have losing trades, to then having a couple of losing trades? How was that experience for you?
I think it was mostly okay, because you've done so much back testing and so much homework that you can see you are improving, you are getting more winners, but you're still getting the odd loser, but it's still generally your account is going up. So you can see how that we're now just putting into practice. I'm confident in what I've learned and how I'm applying it, and then just going into the group coaching and having it checked, and the confirmation from Josh that no, you're doing the right thing, just is fine. And
I think having that feedback mechanism is really helpful, especially in the early days, because you want to build that confidence, you want to build that skill set. And this is the problem when people are trying to teach themselves. They've got no feedback mechanism to know that even if they are learning the right knowledge, are they applying it correctly? They've got no idea. So when they have losing trades, and they have a few losing trades, and they have a few more, they don't know why they're losing. They don't know if they're following the strategy correctly, or if it's just because that's part of the process. So yeah, really, really good. Really, really good.
So I'm just keeping going.
Yeah, great learning.
But I'm really enjoying it. I'm in my routine, and I find it quite mindful, actually, just having that moment at the end of the day, or I can just sit, put my screen on, and just start, you know, going through the markets and having a little look. I can just focus on it, and my brain slows down the noise.
Yeah, which is crazy, because that just would not work for me. I have to do it in the morning.
Do you?
Yeah. By that time in the evening, when the markets are quieter, my brain is also quieter, and because it wants to go to bed. So I can't do it in the evening.
Yeah. Well, I wake up in the morning, and it takes me like an hour to properly wake up. I'm just on autopilot.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
But you need all these kinds of people.
You do. I was reading a book called The Reasons Why We Sleep, and they said there is evening people or night people and morning people. And the reason is, when we were back in the day, or like living out in nature, some of the tribe needed to be awake in the evening and alert in the evening, so they could watch out for threats, and some during the day to watch out for threats. So that's why we have two different types of people, because it's a defense mechanism.
Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah. Hey, you're learning everything on this podcast.
Yeah. Human evolution.
Yeah.
Shall we give each other a snack?
Yes, let's go to our secret snack.
All right. Do you want to go?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
Right, are you shutting your eyes?
Okay.
I don't know quite how you're going to feel about this one.
Is it Chocolate Willies?
No. That's episode 1, by the way, if you want a chocolate willy. There you go.
Oh, God.
Could be used with the chocolate willies.
It's called squirty topping. It's not even squirty cream.
Is it not?
It's just squirty topping.
So it's probably not even...
How am I going to eat this, Lewis?
Not with a lot of grace, I don't think.
Refrigerate before use.
It's still cold.
Okay. Release nozzle, shake well, flip upside down, press nozzle and squirt vertically. Thank you. How is this a snack?
How is it not?
Decorative topping based on skimmed milk and vegetable fat.
Lovely.
Okay, right.
You only have to have a little squirt.
I'm shaking.
Is it still cold?
Actually.
It's still cold, right?
Release nozzle, shake, flip it upside down. Okay, shall I squirt it in here?
Yeah. I mean, I was hoping you were going to go straight, like... There you go. Made a little cappuccino.
This is really fun. How do I eat it?
Yeah, just that, yeah.
Oh, it's quite sweet. Go on, have a
Oh,
dip.
no, I'm going straight in.
Are you going straight in? Okay.
Yeah. It said upside down, right?
Yeah, it did.
I feel like I'm going to miss my mouth like a child.
That was the most elegant thing you've ever done.
Thank you.
Do you know what? I'm really surprised by that.
That's tasty.
It's tasty. It's vanilla-y. It's sweet. You top your strawberry with that.
You would top your strawberry with that, yeah, 100%.
Well done.
Yeah.
I
Surprise
like
level?
Yeah, 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Taste, I'd go 9.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised by that as well.
Yeah. Cool. I'll enjoy
Right, what's for
taking
me?
that on the train on the way back. Right, shall I get you one?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Ready?
I'm excited. I don't hear rustling.
Go.
Oh! I'm surprised.
There we go. What do you see?
For the benefit of the tape, again, this is an M&S snack. So, I mean, Sophie's going up in the world. She's shopping in M&S now. Strawberry flavour meringue bar. Only 100 calories.
I thought I would surprise you with a sweet one.
You have surprised me with a sweet one, I won't lie. Right, I'm opening. Oh, that's good.
Do you want some topping on it?
Oh my goodness, I could, couldn't I? Maybe at the end of the episode. Okay. It smells quite banana-y.
Does it?
Yeah, but it's meant to be strawberry. Looks a bit banana-y as well.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to snap.
Oh, no.
No, that didn't go well. So there we go. You can try some if you
No, you go
like.
ahead. It's fine. Okay, right. I'll have a tiny little bit.
Tastes like, you know when you had ice cream with like the bubble gum at the bottom? It tastes like that bubble gum.
Like the, what's it called?
Screwball.
There we go.
Yeah, it tastes like that.
Oh.
Surprise, 10. Was not expecting a sweet treat. Taste, not actually too bad. I'm gonna go 8 as well.
You can't go wrong with M&S.
No.
No.
You can't.
Well, that was successful then.
Yes, that was very successful. Thank you very much for joining us on this episode. We will see you in the next one.
Bye.